great. And I wasn't planning on going live at all today. You all know on Saturdays, this is my day. I spend the entire day in Bible prayer, studying my Bible, praying or something, right? I'm listening to a sermon or something. So Saturday is really my sacred day where I'm not doing anything out there in terms of being able to connect with other people until any time after 5 or 6 o'clock. And I literally was saying to Jesus, I said, let's make music together. Show me how we make music together, Jesus. And I was sitting here just listening to some beautiful melodies. And everything in me, nothing in me was going to push a button and go live. And right off the bat, God put something in my heart. And I thought, okay, let me go online and let me share this. I want to encourage you all to go and be great. Go and be great. And let me explain. And that message came to me in my spirit literally not even 10 minutes ago. Hello, you all. If you all can hear me, just say good evening or say hi or something so I know you all are there. I'm streaming from home right now. I really want to encourage someone right now. The seed that God placed inside of you. Thank you for the hearts, baby. The seed that God planted inside of you is a good seed. It's a good seed. God didn't make any mistakes with that seed he planted inside of you. And I want you all to think about this. I want you to think about instruments. Think about musical instruments. This is what came to me in my spirit just about 10 minutes ago. Some of us are meant to play. Think of yourself as like a flute. Some of us are meant to be like a flute. And we're meant to play that flute so beautifully. And some of us are meant to be like a piano, where we have this beautiful melody and all of these different chords that we're supposed to play. Just follow me a second. This will make sense in a minute, you all. And some of you are meant to be like a drum, right? Where you're beating that drum so loud and so masterfully, right? You all getting where I'm coming from? And some of us are meant to be so gentle and playing a violin. We all have our different talents and gifts, and we all are a part of this beautiful, I don't even know why I'm getting emotional about this, probably because I've just been spending the day in meditation and prayer before God. But we all are a part of this beautiful rhythm. It's almost as if it's this beautiful flow, this beautiful melody. It's almost like you can hear the spiritual music playing in the background as we all are supposed to go and be great. We all are supposed to use those individual gifts that God has given us and bring it to the forefront. And here's what happens sometimes, you all. Hello, I see you all joining. Here's what happens sometimes. Sometimes we can be like a flute and we're trying to play the piano because we see someone else playing the piano so masterfully. And we look at that person playing the piano and we say to ourselves, wow, why don't I sound like that? Why can't I run those chords like that, right? Or we look at someone playing a drum and we're like, my gosh, that's so masterful the way that drum is being played. I don't know if you all know, but my kids, they're all adults now, but growing up, they've all played the African drums. We have all of these different African drums in my basement, and they used to perform at quite a few events, you know, in all of their African attire. Many people don't know that. But since they were really, really, really young, all the way up through high school, they took lessons almost on a weekly basis, learning all of these different African drums, right? So some of you can be looking at people playing these African drums, and my kids were so masterful with the way that they played these drums, right? Some of you can be looking at the way those beautiful, you guys just calm down a second. Just think about how beautiful it is when you hear those African drums being played. Think about that for a moment. And some of you could be like a violin. You're meant to be gentle. You're meant to stroke those chords, or whatever you call the violin chords. I don't know. None of my kids never played the violin, at least not for long, right? But you're meant to play the chords and do things just that way. Someone say, I played. So you're meant to strike those chords just that way. But then you look at the African drums. Someone else playing the drums, and you think, well, why don't I sound as loud as that person? I'm going somewhere with this, you all. I'm titling this Go and Be Great is what this is all about. Are you all picking up what I'm saying? And what's really been put in my spirit is, oh my goodness, God didn't make any mistakes when he made us. We all are supposed to come forth being authentic. Are you all following me? Being authentic coming out and using the gifts that God has given us in the way that He showed us to do it. But guess what? The enemy does an amazing job. The enemy does an amazing job getting us to play the comparison game. I see the hearts. Thank you, baby. Hold on a second. Hang on one second here, you all. So the enemy does an amazing, amazing job getting us to compare ourselves to other people, right? Or getting us to look at what someone else is doing. And maybe in this season that we're in right now, maybe that season is not going exactly how we want it to go, right? Or maybe we're still just learning the piano. God made us out to be a piano, right? Just follow me. It's going to make sense in a minute, you all. He made us out to be a piano and we're learning those chords. But then we look and we see someone playing those drums so amazing. Or we see someone on the flute that just sounds so amazing. And we think, what is wrong with my piece, my drums or my piano that I'm playing? And at the end of the day, when you really think about it, we all are supposed to be in our role, showing up authentically, doing things as He's called us to do. Someone is putting a message in here about where in Africa did you go? No, baby, what I was saying is my kids play the African drums. They played the African drums most of their entire lives. So you all get the point what I'm getting at? We all are put here with our individual gifts that we're supposed to be showing up authentically and presenting before the world, because all of us are like a string, we're like a chord in this beautiful masterpiece. And I don't know why I'm kind of tearing up and talking to you all about this, but all throughout the day, because most people know I spend pretty much my entire Saturdays is in prayer and in Bible study and just in meditating. And literally, and when I say meditating, I mean meditating on the Word of God. But literally, I said to Jesus before I started this live, I said, Jesus, how do I make music with you right now? How do I make music with you right now? And then He just began to put in my heart, you share what I'm putting out there for you to share right now. Some of you may think there's something wrong with the instrument that you're playing, and it's nothing wrong with it. Does that make sense? I want you all to go and be great. Hang on one second, you all. Hang on a second here. I want you all to go and be great. Give me 1 second here. Every blue moon. 1 second here. Okay, there we go. Every now and then when you go live, you get someone that just, is doing something, whatever. But they're just on an assignment. Let me deviate for just a half of a second. Part of when you show up in that authenticity and doing what God has called you to do, you all have to realize that there are people that are sent on assignment. And it's unfortunate, but their assignment is to get you to doubt yourself, or their assignment is to bring distractions into your life, or their assignment is to, to try to throw you off track or something like that. You can't allow anything or anyone to throw you away from your assignment. You have to know, why did God send me here? What am I put here to do? And how do I show up authentically? Like I'm doing right now, in my heart right now, this is authentication, what you're looking at. I'm showing up authentically, sharing with you what was downloaded with me in the Spirit. And what was downloaded with me in the Spirit is all of us are a part of this beautiful masterpiece. Now, let me give you a scripture on this. There's a scripture in Jeremiah 1:5. I guess I should have started with this, because then it would have made sense while I'm going live. Someone said that's beautiful. Thank you, Living Testimony. Jeremiah 1:5 says, and this is what the Lord said to the prophet Jeremiah. He said, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. He said, before you were born, I set you apart. And then he goes on to say, I appointed you to be a prophet to the nations. Are you all aware that before you were even born, He knew you? Marlene says, thank you, Z. We are all an orchestra. Thank you for your trumpet sound. Oh, Marlene, thank you, baby. That's so powerful what you said. Are you all aware that before you were even born, God knew you? And are you aware that He's already predestined? Look at Ephesians 1:5 and Jeremiah 1:5. Are you aware He's already predestined? He's already predestined what you're set here to do and what you're supposed to be doing. And just like the example I just gave with the instrument, you all think about, for those who are just joining, I was just giving like an example about an instrument. Just think about that for a moment. What if you were born to play the trumpet sound? What if you are supposed to be, let's just say like a strong leader, right? What if you are supposed to be the one blowing that sound loud? What if you are supposed to be a leader of an organization or corporation or business owner, or whatever you call it? What if that is your role? But what if you don't know that? and you're sitting over here and you're playing a flute because so many more people are playing the flute and the flute looks great. And I'm not sure how comfortable I am going to be at the front of the line playing this big trumpet or whatever. So I'm over here playing a flute. And then it feels as if something's off. Hopefully, you all are picking up what I'm laying down. Angela said perfect timing. It feels as if something's off. And what I'm trying to get you all to see, my dear brothers and sisters who are spending just a little bit of time with me right now listening, get in alignment and go and be great and show up authentically as God has called you to do so. I know that that's easy to say. I already know. I already know. I know it's easy to say. And I know it's difficult to do because there's a lot of judgments that come when you show up authentically and when you get out there and you do things the way that God has called you to do. But let me explain something to you all. God is not making up your life along the way. He didn't put you here to frustrate you. The key is, can we get in alignment and can we play the instrument that God has made us out to be, or made us out to play, I should say? If you're meant to be playing a piano, hopefully this is making sense to you all. If you are meant to be playing a piano masterfully, beautifully, you got to learn those chords. You got to learn those chords and you got to go in that flow because you're meant to be a beautiful piano playing that masterpiece. But if you're over here trying to play the trumpet or trying to play a bass or whatever you call that instrument, right? Or trying to play some other kind of drum or flute because everybody out there is playing a flute, right? Nothing wrong with a flute, by the way, if you categorize yourself as that. I'm not giving one instrument more credibility than the other. I'm just making a point. What I'm noticing, thank you, baby, for that. What I'm noticing, what I see, is I get to talk to a lot of people. Many times, we're not playing the instrument we're supposed to be playing. And in fact, some of us, the instrument has been locked up in a closet and has been collecting a lot of dust because we all not even playing an instrument, let alone playing the wrong instrument, but not even playing one. Someplace sitting in the stands, just kind of watching the band go by. We're predestined, you guys. Every time I go live, I say this, and I'm going to say it again. Some of you right now should be pushing live on your camera, speaking life into other people and encouraging other people because you know that you can do a better job than even what I'm doing right now, right? Some of you have been made to do exactly what I'm doing right now. The difference is you have to get in alignment. I was reading a book today. I highly recommend. Now, it's rare that I mention names of books and things like that. People that are members of the Unlocking Greatness community, they know all the books I read because when we have our live workshops, they always say, Z, what are you reading? So I've got them reading so many books, it's unreal. But there's a book I really highly recommend you all look. If you all don't have it, I want you all to go out there and get it. It's a book called The Spirit of Leadership by Dr. Miles Monroe, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, The Spirit of Leadership. You can even get it as an audio book. Someone on my YouTube channel had recommended for me to read it. I think they had read my book, Necessary. And there's a chapter I have in here about being a lion when my mother told me that I was a lion. And someone on my YouTube channel a while ago said, Z, you really should read The Spirit of Leadership, because I had never read it, by the way. And they said, because, wow, this just really, 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 reminds me of that in so many ways. And it's a really good book you should read. So you all should get The Spirit of Leadership by the late Dr. Miles Monroe. The audio book or whatever. You can find it wherever. I don't know where all of his stuff is being sold, but I'm sure you all can find that out. But it's such a beautiful book because what I love about what he says in that book, and I listened to it again today, and it really, really ministered to my spirit. And he wasn't using the examples about the instruments and all of that. That just kind of came to me in my spirit. But he was using the example about you've got to go back to the original settings. What did the manufacturer made you for? Like when you buy, I can't remember the examples he gave, but he gave a really good example about a computer can be a really powerful computer, but if it's not plugged into the power source, it's got to be plugged into the power source. And then some kind of way, and I may be paraphrasing it a little off, but he talks about you got to go back to the original settings. Like what is the manufacturer's instructions? You know, if something's broken or whatever, what is the manufacturer's instructions? You know, the warranty instructions. What are the instructions on that? In other words, what was the original intent, you know, where the manufacturer made that product? And I think he did such an amazing job the way he explained it. And again, I won't go into much detail, but you guys can go get his book and read it. I highly recommend it. But it really had me just sitting and thinking, wow, this is beautiful. What is the manufacturer's instruction for my life? And I've just been sitting with God on that today. And before I went live with you all right now, you all didn't see me, but I was literally sitting there. And I know you all would think that it's weird of me to talk like this, but I literally was sitting there and I just pictured Jesus standing at the edge like standing at the edge of my bed. And I said, Jesus, let's go make music together. How do I go make music with you? What did you put me here for? I just felt so strong in my spirit. I put you here to motivate and inspire people. I put you here to encourage people to sit in my presence. I put you here to serve as an example so that people cannot give up on me and people can sit in my presence. I put you here to help people realize the seeds that I planted inside of them, the goals and the dreams, and to sit before me. I put you here to encourage my people to sit in my presence. That's what he always tells me. For me, that's my manufacturer's instructions. I put you here to encourage my people to sit in my presence, to pursue their God-given talents and gifts. That's what I put you here for. So when I do things like this, like what I'm doing now on this live, you all, this is not hard for me at all. It's not hard. Nothing was planned. I have a meeting in less than 15 or so minutes with my own coach. I have a coach. Personally, I think everybody needs a coach or a mentor, but I have a meeting with my own coach this evening, actually. We were supposed to meet at 8, and I said to him, I said, do you mind if we meet just a little bit later? I said, because there's some fire inside of me that I've just got to get out. He says, Z, I understand. Go for it. Just let me know when you're done, right? Because this is me playing the instrument that God has made me out to be. This is making sense to you all. Maybe just somebody needs to hear this really quickly. This is the instrument that he's made me out to be. So when I play the instrument he's made me out to be, whether it's someone in here says, Z, you're like a trumpet, whether it's a trumpet or whatever, right? I show up. I'm authentic. I genuinely, you all didn't see me today because as I said, I spend Saturdays, this is my day of prayer and worship, and I don't like answering my phone or nothing like that. But the part you all missed, you didn't see me up in my room, tears going down my face today. And I just kept telling Jesus, I said, God, I love you so much. I've messed up so much in my life, too many times to count. And of course, you say, forgive me of my sins and all of that stuff. But I said, I love you so much. And I said, I love your people so much. I said, God, they're so incredible. They're such lights. And I said, this is how you made me. I naturally love them. Show me, how do I lift you to the nations? And how do I help your people draw near to you? I love them. Many of them, God, they love you. They're trying. Some of them are afraid. Some of them are tired. Some of them are calling out to you. How do you use me to help them to see that you are present in their lives? And I literally was just in my room saying, God, I love them so much. Black, white, young, old, rich, poor, Republican, Democrat, I don't care. I just love them so much. This is how you made me. How do I make music with you? That's literally what I was up in my room saying to him. I said, God, I don't know why you made me like this, but I just love them. And then I was just picturing faces, because I've met many of you all on Zoom calls, and especially the members of the Unlocking Greatness community. Many of you have recently joined, which, we have some live workshops coming up. I'm looking forward to spending more time with you all. I'm getting emotional. I don't even know what my tissue is. But the point I'm getting at is, this is my instrument. And so I'm up in my room and I'm just like, God, how do I make music with you? And then I came downstairs. Mind you, I'm supposed to have a meeting with my own mentor in just a few minutes. I was supposed to meet with him at 8 o'clock. And as I began to sit here, hang on, I'm looking for my tissue. as I began to sit here and just pray with no intention of going live today. And I sat here and I just said, Jesus, how do I make music with you? I just want to make music with you. Use me in any way that you want. How do I make music with you? And then gently in my spirit, I just heard in my spirit, let's make music together. You go live and you share with what you're feeling right now. I said, but Jesus, what am I going to talk about? Like, I don't really have anything. He's just go live. Someone needs to hear this. So you're witnessing. Is anyone picking up? Thank you for the hearts, baby. Are you all picking up what I'm saying? It's making music. It's showing up. Lord, y'all got me sitting here crying. It's showing up authentically as the instrument he made me to be. Now, some of you may feel like, well, see, I can't do that. I can't just jump on a live after just praying and just randomly be talking to people. Baby, that's fine. So maybe you're not, I'm using this as an example. So maybe you're not a piano. Maybe you are a flute, or maybe you are a violin, or maybe you are a drum, or maybe you're a trumpet. I'm just doing my part. This is what naturally comes for me, to just show up, right? To lift God, right? To encourage the saints, right? To encourage you all to be in his presence, to remind you the seed that he put inside of you is a good seed. And I believe Dr. Miles Monroe used that phrase. I think that's him that uses it. I like to give credit where credit is due. So I think it's Dr. Miles Monroe that used that phrase in his book, The Spirit of Leadership, when he says that seed is a good seed, right? The seed that God planted inside of you. But some of you just may not be aware what instrument you're supposed to be playing. So that's why sometimes it's difficult when things are not working out, because you're too busy comparing yourself to someone who was meant to play the trumpet, and you're supposed to be over here learning these beautiful chords playing the piano. And all this time you've been over here playing a trumpet, or you've been somewhere playing a flute. That's why you have to go back. And again, I give credit where credit is due. I read a book today called The Spirit of Leadership by Dr. Miles Monroe. Such an amazing book to read. Really, really powerful. You guys should go out and find it. Notice I'm not even plugging my own book, right? I'm plugging his, because it was such a powerful book to read. And I don't remember everything about it. I only went through a few chapters in it today, but it was really, really powerful about going back to the original manufacturer's guide of how did God make you? What did he have in mind when he made you? Right? You all, that's why you have to figure out who you are. And in most of my lives, I talk about that all the time, about who you are, figuring out who you are. And for those of you who are already members of the Unlocking Greatness community, that's why when you first join, the very first part of being a member of the Unlocking Greatness community, I have everyone go through that retreat. That whole necessary retreat, which is based on my book, Necessary. I have everyone go through that retreat. Why? Because I don't want people sitting in there going through all of our live workshops and the business classes and entrepreneurship and all those things we do. If you haven't gone to the original source to see, wait a minute, what did he have in mind when he made me? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Right? Am I a flute? Am I a violin? Am I a piano? Right? You shouldn't be going to a piano class if you're meant to be the flute. Does that make sense, you all? You all put in the comments and let me, I'm seeing a lot of comments coming through. Someone says, that's a great question to meditate on. Jesus, how do I make music with you? Yes, that's what I was just saying to him. Ruth Ann, you're in here. Oh my, Ruth Ann, I smile every time I see you. I just love you to pieces. Ruth Ann said a powerful illustration. I think maybe the reason why I'm feeling things so deeply right now is I just came from a child's graduation party. I've known her since she was born. And it seemed like these 18 or 19 years or so have just gone by so fast. I just can't, but I remember when her mother first told me that she was expecting, and here she is graduating and getting ready to go off to college. One of my neighbors, by the way, so I was just across the street at one of my neighbors' houses. And maybe I feel so deeply about this because I know that time is short. And I don't know I don't know if you all really realize how fast time is going by. Time is just zooming by, and it waits for no one. And all I want to see is you all go and be great. Someone says the older you get, the faster it goes. What I want to see more than anything, and I tell this to members of the Unlocking Greatness community, we've had a number of new people join recently because we've been having open enrollment for the last week. So we've been pretty busy with so many members coming into the community. What I pray more than anything, and I think I've said this to just about every last one of them, I want you all to step into your role as leaders and rule over your God-given assignment. And I think the reason I keep showing up and when I say bothers me, I don't mean in a mean-spirited way, is I know so many of you all are so talented. It just so incredibly gifted and talented. I just don't know if you all realize how valuable you are, how needed you are, and how much the world is waiting on you to show up and be and do your part. I just don't know if you all see it. Every last one of you on this live right now, you have a role. You're predestined. A seed has been planted, and it is meant to grow. You are meant to be a gift to the world. You have a part in this beautiful orchestra that's playing right now, whether you hear it or not. I don't know if you all can hear it, but it's as if, and I know this is going to sound weird to you all, but it's as if I hear an orchestra playing in the spirit. I can't quite explain it because you guys would think, what is wrong with this lady? And maybe because I've been in prayer and meditation and worship all day, and I don't know, I got to come down off of this mountain. But even with you all on this live right now, and I can't see your faces, it's almost as if I just see this beautiful masterpiece being played, and everyone has their part, but not everyone knows their part. And we're meant to play these masterpieces, play these pieces so masterfully. That's the way I want to put it. Play it so masterfully. And how do you play it masterfully, Z? What does that look like? Well, first, are you playing the right instrument? Do you know who you are? Are you dedicating the time to your instrument? In other words, the gifts and the talents that God has given you, have you even accepted it, number one? And are you dedicating the time to that? Or are you looking at what someone else is playing and thinking your part is not as valuable? And then are you working on you? Are you working on that mindset? Do you talk yourself out of doing things that God has already told you to do? Typically, when I have meetings with people, and I've met with just about everyone that's joined the Unlocking Greatness community, all of the newer members that's joined recently in the open enrollment we've been having. Typically, when I meet with them, once I dig a little bit deeper and getting to know them a little bit more and start asking some questions about their short-term, long-term goals, and I do this little exercise. It's like a mindset exercise. I'm not going to do it now because I don't have time. And I typically do it once people have joined the community. But you want to know what I've noticed? You all want to know a secret with this? Most people actually know what they're supposed to be doing. Most people actually know, even the ones that say, I don't know. By the time I walk through a few exercises with them, and I have this one exercise called Gain Clarity, Get Unstuck. But anyway, again, I don't have time to go into all of that. Do you know the majority of the time, once they walk through that and they just begin to sit in it, the majority of the time, you instinctively know what you're called to do. But it's all of these things that's piled up on top of it that's kept you from walking in it. And it can be insecurity, it could be self-doubt, it could be sometimes fear disguises itself as over planning, preparing forever to do something, right? But really you're afraid, right? Not believing who you are. Sometimes people don't understand clarity comes in motion, right? So they think they just got to sit and don't make a single move into everything, is they can see every doggone step before they take a step out there. But I noticed that, wow, many of us, we know the instruments that we are to play, but we are afraid to start playing those chords because we know it's not going to sound good at first. And what if somebody says something, right? I don't know how to play the piano, but I can imagine if I get on the piano, it is not going to sound good right now. And catch me in a couple weeks, it probably still won't sound good. And it's probably going to take me several months, if not many, many, many years, right? Before that piano can be played masterfully, right? So some of us are afraid to even get started because we're going to feel like what do you call it? The imposter syndrome, right? And most people, and this is one of the things I teach a lot of members inside the Unlocking Greatness community, they don't even understand that that's a normal feeling initially. Because you don't know how to play the piano. You've got to learn. You got to get out there, make mistakes. You're going to hit the keys the wrong way, right? Maybe that you're not even supposed to be playing the piano. Your greatness is supposed to be over here on these trumpets, right? But the trumpets scare you. You don't know about that, right? Because that's a whole bit. You get my point? We have to know who we are and go back to the original settings, as I mentioned before with the book I recommended. You all really should get that book, The Spirit of Leadership by Dr. Miles Monroe. I give credit where credit is due, right? And it's rare that I even mention books when I'm live online like this, but it's such a beautiful, beautiful book that is, and again, I'm not even done. I went through it once and I've got to go through it again, but it's a beautiful book about stepping into the spirit of leadership and going back to those original manufacturer settings. So I'm just kind of adding my little 2 cents on it by talking about it as instruments, right? Are you playing the right instrument? And I noticed something. When you start playing that instrument that you're meant to be playing in the first place, kind of like how I am now. This is not difficult in the least bit to sit here and openly just share my heart and help someone tonight. Because I was predestined to do this. Oh, and it came at a heavy price. For those who already know me, you know my story, and especially for those who've read Necessary, right? And for those who know when I first started my podcast, Unlocking Greatness Podcast, you all know some of the names people were calling me and talking about my afro and, calling me a monkey and all types of things, right? And you're not a minister. You don't have a minister license. How can you be, because you guys know I always got a scripture for you, right? Right? So you guys don't, you don't see the back end of what it takes to get to that part to where you're walking in that fully, in that anointing and in that grace. And so when you step out there, baby, and I mean that with love for those who don't know me, it just kind of comes naturally out of my mouth when I say baby, but when you step out there and you begin to do what God has called you to do, it is okay that your knees are shaking a little bit. It's okay you don't know how it's going to turn out. Thank you, Lily. Lily says you are beautiful. Thank you. It's okay that the chords are going to sound. You ever hear somebody play the violin for the first time and how they sound? It's okay that your first live couple of live. I teach a lot of coaches inside the Unlocking Greatness community, and you should just see how nervous they are to do their first webinars or their first live events, right? And they're like, Z, it didn't go well, and this happened, and this happened. And I said, that's great, babe. Now do it again. When are you going to do your next live, right? And normally by the time they get to the third or fourth one, they're like, bam, 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 and they're doing it, right? So it's okay. What we should all be striving for is greatness. I want you all to make a decision. I've got to go because I just got a text message from my coach. I'm supposed to be meeting with him now. I want you all to be in the mindset tonight. I just want you to be, how about this? How about this? I want you all to ask yourself one question tonight when you get off of this live. Just say to yourself, or have a conversation with God and say, how do I make music with you? That's what I did. I pictured Jesus Christ literally at my bedside, Yeshua, right? Picturing him at my bedside, and I said, how do we make music together right now, Lord? I said, I just want to make music with you. That's all I want to do is, how do I make music with you right now? And I came and I sat down here in my living room, and tears began to form in my eyes. I said, you've predestined me. You've called me. How do I make music with you? And this is a result. He just placed in my heart, turn on the live. I was like, I wasn't planning on going live. I got a meeting. You said you want to make music together. Let's go make music. So I just want you all to ask that question. Jesus, how do I make music with you? How do I make music with you? Sometimes I'll say to him, and I'm probably going to do this tonight when I'm done with my coaching session. And again, for those who don't know me, I know this sounds weird. I know, but I'll tell you anyway. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do this tonight. When I go up in my room, sometimes I just say, Jesus, can we dance together? I said, just dance with me. And then I turn on my gospel music. I have a whole mixture of different gospel songs I listen to, right? Because I don't listen to the radio. I couldn't name a secular song right now anyway. But I turn on and I said, Jesus, can you just dance with me? And I know it sounds weird. I already know, because some of you are going to say, what is wrong with this woman? And I literally dance around in my room. And I just picture him there dancing with me, smiling and just dancing with me. Sometimes you all have to just settle down and just let your spirit just be in his presence. You may not know the answers of what to do next. You may not know exactly how to do whatever. I don't have all the answers, you guys. I tell the members in the Unlocking Greatness community all the time, I'm like, I don't have the answers to everything, but I know how to bring us all together as a community. I know how to invite in specialists and guest speakers, and I know how to get us all together, right? Which we do, and we come together, we pray, we have amazing workshops, and I said, I know how to do that. I don't have all the answers. Sometimes you just need to dance with the Lord. And I hope that no one mixes those words up when I say that. Sometimes you just need to calm yourself down. This is why, by the way, and you guys get to orchestrate your week however you want, but this is why I purposely, anyone that knows me, they know pretty much from Friday night to Saturday night, they pretty much know Z is completely unreachable for the most part. This is why I strongly believe at least one day out of the week, you need to be spending time just in the presence of God. Just in the presence of God. Now, I'm not perfect with it. I'm not. But I try my best to guard that time. That's why I'm having my coaching calls so late. My coach is actually waiting on me now. I've got to go. But I have my coaching calls so late because I'm like, until 5 or 6 p.m. on Sunday hit. And it's not that I'm, members of my church or a whole lot of people do this, right? I just feel it's important that at least one day is dedicated to sitting, studying, meditating, being in his presence. Like right now, my spirit is so at peace. I hear like in my spirit right now, this orchestra playing. I really can't explain it, right? And watch how God begins to just show up and dwell in you. And watch how he begins to just give you creativity and give you ideas and give you the encouragement you need. Watch what he begins to do in your life. That's what I want for each and every last one of you all. I love you all. I'm going to have to go. Let me just read a few comments. My God. I'll say this too, for those of you who are prophets and prophetess and ministers, and again, I don't have any titles at all. Let me just be clear. I don't own a church. I go to church, but I don't, I don't have those licenses and titles or what have you. But you all really need to be praying for the people in this world and everything that's going on. Let's keep everyone in prayer. You all may not realize this, but we need each other. You all may not realize this, but we really need each other. That's why I was up in my room crying for quite a while. Not because something happened, but just saying, God, I just love you so much. And I don't know why it is, but I love your people so much. I just love them. And it's almost as if I can feel what people are going through, right? And I just want you all to go and be great. I want to see you all use the gifts and talent God has given you confidently, show up authentically, sit in his presence. Go out there as leaders. That's one of the things I tell the people in the Unlocking Greatness community. I tell them, I said, my primary goal with you all, for every single member in the Unlocking Greatness community, my primary goal, and I tell them this all the time, I want you all to rule over your God-given assignment, to show up as leaders and go out there and start your own worldwide communities. We have people in the Unlocking Greatness community from all around the world. Go out there and start your own. We're meant to be leaders. Go out there and start your own, but first you got to work on you. So anyway, you all play the instrument that God has given you to play. Make the decision that you're just going to spend just a little bit of time with God. Some of you all, when this live is over, probably just need to go somewhere and just sit and pray. Dance with the Lord. And I'm not trying to be some religious woman. Dance with him. Ask him, which is what I did. God, how do I make music with you? I said, Jesus, I just want you to look at me and I want to see a smile on your face. I told him earlier today, I said, search my heart. I said, search every corner of my heart. Search every part of me. Show me if there's anything in me that doesn't look like you, doesn't smell like you, if there's any form of deceit, manipulation, lies. I said, show me, search me, search me, search me. Some of you all need to have those prayers because he'll show you. Search me. See if there's anything in there that I'm missing. Search every corner. Search everything about me because I want to make music with you. Anyway. I love you all. I love you. I love you. I pray that you all are blessed. Let me say this before I leave. For those of you who are already members of the Unlocking Greatness community, please make sure you RSVP and join the next live workshop sessions. When you log into the platform, go into the community and make sure you look at the meetups tab and RSVP because I have a lot of amazing things planned for us. We have a special guest speaker coming in. She's going to be teaching on self-compassion. She's the woman I wrote about in Necessary who really, really, really helped me when I was going through one of the darkest stages of my life. So she's agreed to come in as a guest speaker. For the entrepreneurs, we have a meeting coming up this Wednesday. So make sure you all are in that meeting. And the title of that meeting is called, I think we called it Pick Up Your Mat and Walk. It's going to be an extremely good meeting for all of you all who are entrepreneurs because I really want to encourage you all to get your businesses up and going. And the next personal development meeting is on overcoming negativity and distractions. So for every single person that's already a member of the Unlocking Greatness community, please, if you can, make time to be in those live workshops meetings. And for the rest of you all, I love you, I love you, I love you. We're in the middle of an open enrollment right now with the Unlocking Greatness community. You all are more than welcome to join. We still have it up there now, and that's at unlockinggreatness.com. If any of you all are interested in joining the live workshops, I'd love to meet you. I would love, love, love to talk to you. And we still have some necklaces left, so we're still giving away the Unbreakable, my Unbreakable personal collection. I'm sending them off to all of the new members that join. So by the way, all of the new members that joined already, all of your necklaces were mailed out. So everyone, you already, all of the Unbreakable necklaces were mailed out to all of the new members that just joined. With the exception of one member that joined today, I'll make sure that your necklace gets mailed out on Monday, and that's my free gift to all of you. So for the rest of you all, I love you, I love you, I love you. I pray you're encouraged. Let me read a few comments here, and I'm going to go. AJ says, it's beautiful to dance and sing with God. Truly a feeling unmatched. Thank you for always reminding us. You're welcome, AJ. And AJ, I'll see you at our next live workshop session. Make sure you've already RSVP'd. So I'll see you in just a little bit. It's already done, says God has already been telling me to be present, and I'm having a hard time with that. That says it's already done. Well, I pray that this has helped you, baby. We talk about this quite a bit inside of the Unlocking Greatness community. In fact, we have a retreat that I have for all of the members to go through, and we have meetings about that very topic. But I'm glad that this encouraged you. Let me see if there's any other comments here. All righty, I'm going to close this out because literally I've got to now apologize to my own coach. We were supposed to get together earlier, and I said, give me another 30 minutes because I said, God just put this fire in me, and I said, I just got to get it out. And he said, see, I understand. So I was supposed to been talking to him at 8:30, and I need to go. All right, love you all. I'm going to close this out. Love you all. Love you, love you. I pray this encourage you. Bye-bye. All right, I'm into these live streams, you guys, because I want to be respectful to him because he's been waiting. Someone says it's already done, says thank you. Yes, baby. Love you. I pray that you've been greatly encouraged. I'm going to save this on my YouTube and on my Instagram. But please, please, please focus on go and be great. Go do what God has put you here to do, all right? And for those of you who are already members of the Unlocking Greatness community, if you're a new member, know that your necklace has been mailed off. And Make sure you RSVP. I'm reaching out to a lot of people right now to get more guest speakers in. Not only for the personal development live workshop sessions, but for the entrepreneur. I really, really, really want to see you all grow spiritually, and I really want to see a lot of these businesses take off. A lot of these businesses, especially for those of you who are entrepreneurs inside the community. So we have a lot of guest speakers that we're having come into the platform to help you. But I want us to be grounded and make sure we're playing the right instrument. We got to be playing the right instrument, okay? I love you all. Go and be great. I love you. Bye-bye. Love you all. Bye-bye. I'm trying to close.